Anyway, it should be pretty widely known. I might as well. It was a long time ago, and actually, honestly, I actually forgot about it. Um, it's there was a report a couple hundred years ago, about 150 years ago, and it's one of the reasons why they rebuilt Japan the way they did. But anyway, though, there is quite possibly you'd have to ask Germany or Britain or England or China about this. Basically, I believe there is a mine. If you look on the map right here, there is this huge mine somewhere. There's a coal thing, and it's a 3,000-year-old mine. But a long, 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 long time ago, there used to be a mine that was underneath here, way, way, way deep down inside. It goes, I think, not quite to there, but it goes from there to like around and something somewhere around in here. There's a giant mine that is underground, and it actually extended about a third of the way that way, I think, and then go over there. You'd have to look it up, but basically, there used to be oil wells like somewhere. If you look at the map of Japan, and you'll see out in the water in the old days, there's a picture of a bunch of oil wells out there. Now those oil wells were somewhere out in here. I forget exactly where. Anyway, though, there used to be this giant mine underneath here, like 15,000 to 35 feet, thousand feet underneath the ground, maybe 150. I don't really know. Anyway, the mine was about 120 feet or 240 feet tall. There's a giant coal seam, and there's some iron and some, or I think iron, maybe copper or something like that in there. The copper was located somewhere around in here. They were digging into it, and they discovered copper somewhere in this region or something. There was something way deep down inside the ground, and it was somewhere around in here they found copper. They used all of this to build China, basically, when they built China. It should be widely known. It should be just like, you look it up, or you go to China or Japan and they tell you, oh yeah, 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 the ancient 3,000-year-old coal mine that's underneath us. I mean, there's all this mining everywhere, huge giant mining, like great big machines underneath the ground, like probably about, I don't know, I mean, it could be 120,000 feet under the ground. Like, it's way, way down there. And there's actually photographs. There used to be oil wells somewhere out here, or somewhere around in here, or somewhere. I forget where the oil wells were, but they were somewhere out in here. I mean, there's photographs where this actually used to be a lot higher. Anyway, though, um, and there's pictures, and you could look up, on the ceiling of the rock face, and you'll see these tubes coming down. There's actually photographs of it. I've seen them, where there's actually like tubes coming out of the rock, and you can see, and this guy's talking like, yeah, those are the old oil well lines, how they used to get oil well, because there used to be oil right in here. And that's one of the things that the fake presidents did, is they wanted to restrict Japan or China from accessing their own oil from their own wells, because they wanted it. Anyway, it was basically like Bill Gates or Nixon cover up thing, where they were trying to steal all the oil or all the money or something like that. I don't know. You have to go talk to the leaders of China and the leaders of and probably Putin, and maybe the old the Queen would probably know. Somebody who knows over there. Anyway, though. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There used to be an old, huge mine underneath here, about 120,000 feet down or 55,000 feet down underneath the ground, and they were mining it all out. This whole thing. Wow, that's nice and warm. Anyway, there was all this stuff underneath here, and they had oil wells right here, and they're trying to stop China from being able to use it. But I mean, it was their oil. I mean, I just need it for a little bit of building. I mean, and America actually has their own oil seam. Anyway, though, but JFK, Nixon, they're crazy. They're nuts. Because it's Lucifer Starr's White House, my White House, and all that other stuff, and they're trying to deny me and like kidnap me and keep me quiet. Anyway, though, Germany knew, and so did a bunch of other people. And Germany was like, "It's a abuse of free will what you're doing," because these people were just making up shit and then just doing whatever. Anyway, though, you'll have to look it up actually. But like I said, there used to be oil wells because wherever you find oil, you find coal. So there used to be these oil wells over here, and they were sucking the oil out, because you need to take the oil out before you mine the coal. But then they sucked out all the oil, and then they were mining this coal, and they found copper and all kinds of stuff somewhere in here, and basically there's this huge mine underneath here. Anyway, they knew Germany and England both, or Britain, both Bryantown, both did this report on Japan and knew that the whole island would be going. It's possible it used to be a mountain. I mean, you're gonna have to look in the records and look it up and get some real history about it. But basically, there used to be a whole bunch of oil wells. I mean, it could have been. They could have actually been like way out here, like it could have. I mean, there was a lot of oil down there, a lot of coal, a lot of oil. Anyway, though, once they got all the oil extracted, then they started going in and mining it and mining it and mining it and like mined. I don't know how big the mine is. It's like really big, but basically, I think it's really big. And this, it's a 3,000-year-old mine basically, and it was really big. It was underneath here and went out to about here, something like that, or something. This great big huge giant mine, and they were just scooping it all up. Anyway, though, they decided they would need to drop this section or drop a section that might have formed this ocean. I don't really know. Like I said, I don't really know. I just know that it was about 3,000 years old, and it was huge, and it was deep underground because all the good metal is underneath the ground. You got to go way down there, like 150. Like you got to get at least 55,000 feet under the ground. Like I always was telling people, well, you're not going to really find anything at the surface. You're going to have to get down there at least like 50,000 feet or 120,000 or 120,000 feet way under the ground before you start getting to the good stuff. Yeah, then that's the good stuff down there. All the really good metal is way underground. All the rare metals, all the good stuff is underneath the ground because it takes weight and heat to make the stuff, and then it goes. So when you get way down there, you start getting into all the good stuff, which is like the good hard metal. Anyway, though, but you can smelt all kinds of stuff. But the Earth does a lot of smelting itself. Anyway, though, it's one of those like secret things because there's all these people that wanted metal and wanted money and wanted to keep it a secret to the whole population. It's like, guys, I mean, Germany was open about it. Britain's open about it. I'm pretty sure China's like, yeah, it's there. I mean, there were all kinds of logbooks and all kinds of things, all kinds of records. There's films because it was like a great thing. I think there's even a city under there. It's like, anyway, though, eventually it was getting too dangerous. So we were like, well, we're going to need to put water in there. And I think they filled it full of sand or something like that, because they knew they were going to drop it. And if it just dropped by itself, it'd go down. But so, and the problem was even with being full of sand or whatever, it was still going to compress quite a bit. So, anyway, I mean, you're gonna have to talk to China about it, and also or ask Germany or the Queen or something. I mean, they all knew about this stuff. Everyone knew about this stuff. There were like 3 reports on what was going to happen when it dropped, because it was going to be a huge tsunami and all kinds of stuff. So, anyway, I'm LS, Lucifer Star. And I know I act a little crazy sometimes, but I mean, I've been through a lot. And technically, they were trying to me and kill me, and because I own the whole planet. So anyway, and I named America and a whole bunch of other places, and it's like, yeah, I did it a long time ago. I was a great man. I'm the creator of humanity and 12 other races and space stuff and all that. And you know what? I don't really care. Like, I mean, it was a long time ago. We're on a giant space clock. There's 2 of them. There's a galaxy coming towards us. It'll be here in about 680 billion years or something like that. Anyway, but I'm your creator, and I love you. And I'm sorry about all the death and destruction and everything else. It's not my fault. I did that. There are crazy psychopaths everywhere. I love you, though. I did the best I could. Kept as many people safe and protected as I could. So anyway, and it's, we all did the best we could. Everyone will tell you that. So anyway, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, there's a giant mine underneath Japan. It's a 3,000-year-old mine. Japan and Germany said it was gonna collapse in about 500 years or 250 years, no matter what.